Hi, my name is Mitch Ziegler. I'm a physical therapist and a professor at Spring Arbor University. And today what I'm going to show you is a quadrant stretching program for the lower body, but we're going to do it on a mat. So there's another one, there's a lower quadrant stretching program that we do standing, but this one is for people who need to do it on the mat. Maybe they can't do the standing technique or it's ineffective for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through all four quadrants, stretching for the lower extremity on the mat. So what I mean by four quadrants is there's four different quadrants that we're going to focus on. The anterior quadrant of the hip and leg, the lateral quadrant of the hip and leg, we're going to do the medial quadrant and the posterior quadrant. That's what we're going to do in this program. So the first one we're going to work on is the lateral quadrant, kind of running up the lateral side into the buttocks. So we start on the hands and knees. And what you're going to do is you're going to throw your feet to one side. So it kind of looks like a windshield wipers, flipping them like this. And now I'm going to take my right knee and I'm going to cross it completely over my left leg. I'm going to slide this leg back until I start to feel a stretch in my left buttocks. And then I'm just going to rest on my elbow. Now most people probably are not going to be able to get that low in the position. So as soon as you cross your leg, you start to move the leg back until you feel a moderate pull. And once you feel the moderate pull, that's as far as you need to go, even if you can't drop on your elbows. I'm going to show you the kind of a little bit more advanced position, but you can modify it so you just have that moderate pull going on. Okay? So in this case, I'm resting down on my elbows, my leg is pushed back, I feel that nice strong pull there, and now I'm just going to do some little wiggles. I'm going to go do circles one way, do the other way, rock back and forth. I try to introduce a little bit of motion because most people tighten up when they stretch, and it's really hard to tighten up and have these little wiggles. So do this stretch for 1 minute. And then what you're going to do, of course, do the other side. So we'll do a little bit of a recap. You throw your feet to the left, you take your left knee, cross it behind your right calf, you slide the leg back, and you rest on your elbows, and you do your wiggles for a minute. Okay? That's going to stretch this lateral portion into the buttocks. Okay? The next one we're going to do is we're going to work on the medial quadrant here, or the inside part of the leg. So this is kind of an unusual stretch. You might want to do this in a private place, so just a warning. So you're going to stretch your knees out as far as you possibly can. So kind of wiggle so your knees go a long ways away. Now I feel a stretch right in my adductor muscles, okay? So now what we're going to do in this position, we're going to do circles. So pretend like there's maybe a pencil coming down from your belly button, and you're going to draw a circle on the table or on the floor at home. So you move your body, your pelvis in this circular fashion. So do these circles like this. I recommend that you do nice slow circles, do 30. In this case, I'm going counterclockwise, so do 30 counterclockwise, and then go back and do 30 clockwise. And if you find an area that's particularly tight, like when I go right into here, I feel it really strongly in my adductor. When I go over here, I don't feel it as strong. So I'm going to pay a little extra attention when I get to that little part of the circle and just really work on stretching that area out a little bit extra. Okay? So that covers the medial quadrant, and we covered the lateral quadrant. Now let's hit the front quadrant. So one way to do this is just to get in this kneeling position. Keep of course, put your knee on a pillow or make sure there's padding underneath your knee. You can put your hands here, or if there's a chair that you have next to you here to help you with balance, that's fine. Keep your chest back, push your hip forward like this, and you should feel pull here. And then what you want to do is you want to rock back and forth every time, feeling a stronger and stronger pull here. Do it 10 times. And then push forward until you feel that pull, and then just rock back and forward like this 10 times. When you're done with that, then go ahead and do circles counterclockwise 10 times, and then do circles clockwise. And I mean circles, move your pelvis in a clockwise or counterclockwise fashion. And that's how you're going to stretch this hip flexor muscle, which is the anterior quadrant. Okay, so now we've covered the anterior, lateral, and medial. Now we're going to cover the posterior quadrant, which is your hamstrings. Okay, so in this case, what we're going to do, if you're just starting and you're not very flexible, just put your hand behind your knee and just straighten your leg and bend it. Straighten it and bend it. This is a good way to start. When you become a little more advanced, you grab the foot, and then you can hold and you can push like this and stretch. Okay. So this is going to work the posterior quadrant. So regardless if you're doing it this way or if you're going a little more advanced, doing it this way, I want you to do this for about a minute. So that may take about 40 pushes back and forth like this. When you get a little bit more advanced, you can go ahead and you can do that pushing, and then you can let the foot roll over like this with your shoulder staying pinned to the table, and you can then rock the knee back and forth to get a little bit more of the lateral fibers of the hamstring, okay? So just a quick review, hamstring is, if just starting out, do it like this, more advanced, like this, or grab your ankle and do it, just so you're feeling that pull back here. Do about 40 to 50 of those, so it lasts about a minute. Okay, so now we've covered the anterior quadrant, the medial, the lateral and posterior quadrants of the hip, and these are all done on a mat or on the floor or on your bed at home. And remember, with all the stretching, you should just do it so you feel a moderate pull, moderate stretching, not real heavy stretching. The heavy stretching will make you particularly sore, could even hurt you. So just make sure moderate, light to moderate stretches. Just do it for the times we talked about or the reps we talked about, and it should really improve your mobility in this lower quadrant in the hip area. I think you'll really like that feeling. So thank you very much for watching my video.